Hi everyone, welcome to our monthly guidance message for April. And as we're coming up to Easter, we want to talk about resurrecting yourself. And this is really an essential part of every spiritual journey. And I think when we think of the life of Jesus and we think of Easter in particular, we all tend to focus on the crucifixion, whereas in fact the whole point of that lifetime was the resurrection, was to remind us all that we are not these bodies, that we are these eternal souls that exist beyond these bodies, that we are these beings of light, that we are in fact the light and love of God. And this is what is so important to remember at this time and always. It's also really important to realise that it is our job to resurrect ourselves, it is our job to save ourselves, it's our job to make the decision and the choice to turn our lives around, to stop living the dead-end lives we've been living, following the conditioning that we've been brought up with. But it's time now to make a new choice and live our lives guided by our souls. And this was really the central message of Jesus and of all the beautiful divine teachers that have taught us over millennia. Because we have free will choice and it's up to us how we live this lifetime. All that divine help from Jesus and everyone else is there every instant when we call on it. But we still have to make the choice. And to me, actually, the resurrection was the second resurrection of Jesus, because he spent the first 33 years of his life resurrecting himself into that divine self. And that's really what we're all here to do. We are all here to learn as he did how to walk as our divine selves. And his message has really clearly shown us the steps to do that. When he said, "Follow me," he meant follow in my footsteps, follow the path I've laid down for you. And that, and certainly the way he's teaching me now, is very simple, direct steps that taken every day can lead to huge changes. So we just wanted to talk about some of those steps today that you'll find in every spiritual path. And the first one is to just stop and be still. Because unless we stop, unless we step out of the busyness, we will never touch the peace and the calm that lies within us. And this is where we'll find the peace and the calm inside us. But we're so busy running around to everybody else's agenda, we never actually stop and turn within us and find out what our own agenda is. And the second step is really to stop and listen to yourself. Once you've stopped from that busyness, sit with yourself, sit in the silence, and see what that voice inside you is saying. Because that voice inside you is the voice of your own soul, is the voice of the divinity within you. And you can't hear it unless you stop and be still. So one step leads to another. And the third step is to follow that vision. Once you've heard that vision, start to follow it. Start to take the small steps every day that will let you lead the life that is guided by your soul and not guided by what others expect of you. Because you're here to honour your own soul and you're here to follow your own soul's growth. And when you do that, you'll be honouring the divine and honouring the divine within you. And I just wanted to say as well that when we're listening, sometimes we expect instant answers, but it's actually letting yourself take the time to sit in the stillness, to allow time for those answers to arise, because the answers may not be in words, they may be in a knowing, in an image, in a thought that rises up. We may expect to sit down and in the first 30 seconds to hear something, but sometimes you may have to sit for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour before something arises. So it's allowing yourself that time to listen to the stillness, to listen to the silence, and to see what rises up within that. And I suppose I feel in my life I have had that crucifixion and resurrection in a way through my heart attacks. Because certainly during my second heart attack, as I've shared before, I had that moment of epiphany when I was being wheeled down to the theatre, and I knew that if I wanted to, I could close my eyes and just go, because my body would go, but I, Deirdre, would exist somewhere else in some other form. And before that, I'd been through years of emotional pain and abuse in the sense of abusing myself. I just didn't realise that I was abusing myself at the time. So I had that moment of choice where if I'd had enough of crucifying myself, I could go. But I knew that whatever I was here to do, I hadn't done it. So I decided to stay and to find out what that was and to do it. Now in that moment, that was just a small moment in my life. I was just getting on with surviving that moment. It was only when I looked back on it afterwards that I realised the impact and the importance of it. So sometimes those small moments of choice that we don't even notice during our day are the ones that make the biggest difference. And I think we're all waiting for this lightning bolt to hit us, and we don't realise that those small moments that we don't even notice are the lightning bolts, are the big moments of change. I also think sometimes that we're all waiting for the voice of God to come booming out of the heavens to us. Well, guess what? This is the voice of God booming out at you. Me and all the other messages in the Word are trying to let you hear the voice of God. And of course you have to remember that you don't need any of us. All you need to do is turn within yourself, listen to your soul, which is the voice of God calling out to you, and knowing that the voice of God is within you. And we are all just guiding you back to that voice of God within you. And I know there's times when many of us feel we are going through a crucifixion of our own, whether it's through abuse, assault, loss, grief, illness, many other forms. That we do go through many dark nights of the soul, that we do go through these deep pain and trauma. And I'm not asking anybody to ignore their pain and to bury their pain, but I'm asking you to gently, gently work through that pain, to know you can work through it, to know that you can't change the past, but you can change the impact of that past on you. And I have learned to do that. I've learned to do that with the help of Jesus and my other divine teachers. And you can do it too, but gently, gently, step by step, day by day. So it's being gentle with yourself now, knowing you don't have to be perfect now, knowing you just have to take one step forward today, and that's all that's needed. But that is you choosing to resurrect yourself. That's choosing to make a new choice in the world, to walk a different way. And you have the power to make that choice right now. So thank you for listening to this message. And I'll be sharing some more channel messages over Easter weekend from Jesus, Mary Magdalene and the Divine Light. I also feel that Mother Mary wants to channel, and I'm not sure if that's in words or if that's in healing. So I'll keep you posted when I become clear on that. I also wanted to say that we are sending out distant healing at 3 p.m. on Good Friday. So anybody wants to tune into that, please do. You're more than welcome. And today I actually just wanted to thank my divine teachers for everything they've taught me and for everything they're passing on through me. I just feel their love today and always for me and for everyone. And I think it's just important to thank them and to remember they really are all here helping us. So thank you for listening. Take care. And we'll be back next month with another message of hope and light.